but you don't have these words on your profile, expert networks could be missing. The way actually we try to use LinkedIn, of course, it's actually really similar to recruiters use LinkedIn. The biggest advice I would have for people who are actually looking to get expert network calls is to really, really put down some work on their LinkedIn, to have a clear structure, like properly put all the company names, especially something that helps.
Keep your LinkedIn updated. Put down as much information as you can on your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is an extremely important source for expert networks. Usually we check your actual LinkedIn profile and we will type up an expert profile based on the experience that you have noted down there, as well as what you've said on the phone. So having that as updated as possible is great. Also, the technology that's used to find experts usually does take the API from LinkedIn and looks at specific keywords that are mentioned.
Make sure you have a profile picture in there. Make sure you have some connections on LinkedIn. So us seeing that you're not active on LinkedIn will be the most important trigger for going to the next profile. So if you're active on LinkedIn, that is a big plus. And also focus. So focus a lot on what you do really, really well. If you do everything, then you're certainly less interesting for us. LinkedIn, I'd say for 80% of experts that we recruit, is the most important source. But there's two ways of finding experts. So either the expert has worked for a specific company. So let's say the client would like to speak with someone who's been working with Microsoft and thus knows a specific software niche very well, a specific market. The other way is to use keywords to do this.
Some people, it's a really common mistake that I have seen, which quite surprised me. On LinkedIn, while you were putting your career information, like putting down all the companies you have worked for, like your current company, people actually do not use that. So while typing the name, let's say for Liverpool, you can type Liverpool, and then while putting that, you would have Liverpool popping up, so you can actually choose that, and then you will have the picture of Liverpool. It will be written Liverpool as your current company. But some people, I don't know why, they don't do this. They just type in Liverpool and press to enter. And this actually doesn't match them with the Liverpool company. Once you're using the LinkedIn filters and you want to search for Liverpool, the amount of the only people that would pop up to you are actually people who have registered their career within the Liverpool pop-up image from LinkedIn. And if you just type it yourself, then actually that filtering takes you out away from the equation. And if someone uses those filters, you can actually be not showing up to them. So this is a huge advice that I would have, because I have seen a lot of people having this mistake on their profiles.
So it's important to be found as an expert. It's important to have your profile up to date, to maybe use different words also for your position. So maybe use as key account manager, business development. Try to describe your role. Try to describe what you did at the company.
Usually, when you try to narrow the pool down, sometimes the filters can't be enough, especially in big sectors such as, finance or medical. And in those sectors, you have thousands of people showing up. So in those cases, I used to use the search bar to look for keywords in people's profiles. So this again really depends on what the client is looking for. Some clients want to speak with people with legal background, finance background, commercial background, sales background. This really depends on what the client wants. But for example, let's say I'm looking for a salesperson, and I have just typed in all the filters and everything, but I still have a pool of 700 people. And obviously I wouldn't have the time to just go one by one with those 700 people to see if they have worked in sales or not. So if you actually do have on your profile something that explains you have worked in sales, for example, with keywords such as sales, business development, commercial. If you have those keywords, I would actually put into the LinkedIn search a search function such as sales or business or commercial or business development.
Having a keyword-rich profile, well organized, to increase the odds that they come up in search results when they're searched, regardless of the platform. More keywords, more detail, the more information, the better generally. What they're balancing that with is a perception that if their profile is too overburdened with information, they look to have like a lack of sophistication from the client perspective. I think in some cases, a client will look at an expert profile that has tons and tons of information up and down, and might interpret that negatively, desperation or whatever they think. The point is, the most sought after senior specialized niche perspectives often have the opposite present on their profile. It's very sparse. Their responses are terse. And again, these are generalizations, but I just want to make the point that overdoing it sometimes backfires.
Once I type to search, then I would only be seeing people who have, at some point of their profile, one of these words. So for example, sales, business development, commercial. And if you don't actually, even if you have worked in sales, but you don't have these words on your profile, expert networks could be missing you. Let's say an associate is looking to get 10 experts on that project, and then he's just scrolling. It's always better to be popping up above the other candidates, which really do help for you to be seen and to be registered for that project, and also to be contacted.
Make sure you have your full CV on LinkedIn, because it does matter a lot for a client whether you've got 40 years of experience or 2 years of experience in a certain sector. And make sure you use the right keywords for your sector. But at the same time, try not to use too many, so not make the impression that you're an expert on everything.
Clients are coming to expert networks for things they can't fulfill themselves internally or not fast enough or similar. Means that it's going to be some esoteric topics and very specific keywords. It's often information that's not publicly available on profiles. What do I mean? It's something very nuanced that somebody wouldn't think to include on their LinkedIn profile or Indeed resume. And therefore, expert networks are having to use proxy searches to come at it indirectly. By proxy search, I mean they're searching synonyms or related topics and keywords to come at it indirectly and then manually screen to have the expert confirm that they have that specific experience. Let's say that there's some rare mineral that's being reviewed for its unique properties for some manufacturing application. Aside from a Wikipedia page, you may find that there are very few occurrences of the shorthand version, the technical name of that mineral, and it's certainly not coming up on enough LinkedIn profiles and Indeed resume databases or whatever the source might be. And therefore, the analyst, who is often a junior person right out of school at Expert Networks, is having to run around on Google and on ChatGPT and different tools to get smart on the topic quickly, largely to find synonyms and related keywords that they can come at the expert indirectly and generally increase the denominator, the number of profiles that they're reviewing before they begin their outreach.
The biggest issue I see with people is the fact that they don't have their profiles open. That kind of makes it difficult for us to reach out to them. So if you make it open, that allows us to reach out to you more elaborately, and it's just good communication. So we get to tell whatever we want to tell you as elaborately as possible, so you know what we're looking for, and we can tell you the next step. So if you get a confirmation, we can get it very quickly, and that's what does it.
If you want to get started consulting for expert networks, it's a good idea to reach out to them, or the next time a recruiter finds you on LinkedIn, just to give them your number straight away, because it makes life of expert network consultants so much easier. And if you are someone to always pick up your phone first, you're likely to get way more projects.
Put at least your email information available and then publicly available on LinkedIn. This actually do really help, because you can't imagine the amount of fake emails we encounter while trying to contact experts, and having the right personal email of someone that you want to contact actually do really, really help.
Anything that you can do to help substantiate your perspective, to give the client a higher level of confidence that you are the right person. And some of that's intangible or indirect, like things like having a picture on your profile, or being receptive to phone calls, not just email. It's just the higher the transparency, the higher the credibility. It's just much better to enable the client to make a decision quickly.